I'm gonna roll my percentile dice here, buddy. All right, okay.
Okay, all right.
And it's gonna give us our base percentage of if we're gonna know what the fuck's going on at all tonight.
We're not.
We have a 15% chance.
Believe me,
what's going on tonight.
My brain was a going last night and today, and I had nothing.
Yeah,
for once,
after last night, my everything hurt.
For once in this whole entire playthrough, I got no theories. I mean, I kind of know why. Like, I have my own. It's not like a theory. I have my own, like, what do you call it? Imagining of why Alter Ego wouldn't save Kyoko in that situation. Because I remember Brandy saying, "Oh, it's funny. She wouldn't say." I would just like to think that was all in Makoto's head. Like, this is how he was like playing. Because like,
I think that
like, yeah. Like, oh, Makoto, you okay? Like, he was like daydreaming, like, oh shit, yeah. And, he was just that.
I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Not saying that's. I mean, everyone has their own thing, because I doubt they're going to explain that at all. But
no, but I think that
like, let's put something funny in here.
Yeah, I think that's what they were going with it, because Nagi basically gets out of that trance, like, wait a minute, what? You know what I mean? Like, what's actually happening?
We also did learn that Hero's 30% is accurate.
20%.
You said it's 30 on a good day. It's 30 on a good day.
I still think it's hilarious that Aoi bared all of their children, and I'm assuming Genocider killed herself.
Yeah, that poor fucking girl.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know, because there's just so many questions of why. Like, I kind of get why she had to pin it on Makoto, like, when you really think about it, because it's just like, I just don't get why it had to be Makoto and not her. I don't know why it's like, okay, well, why? Because she even said, oh, okay, well, if I, you know, if you choose me, it is done. There's no getting out of this. But it's like, why? But I know why she had to pin on Makoto. It could have been anyone, but Makoto was the only one that didn't have an alibi, so she kind of had to throw him out there. Like, well, he's the only one I can get to full, because Byakuya and all the others, they all had alibis. So it's like, I can't really blame them. So I kind of get why she had to blame him.
I get you. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I think that is basically what they do. They play it off as like Nagi's daydream kind of thing for the one like situation. I think that little cutscene's so funny though.
Yeah, it's just something silly to put in there. It's just
I
feel so bad for Aoi.
So bad for Aoi. It looked like Byakuya's son was the oldest, and then Nagi's, and then Heroes. It's like, okay. Of course, like Byakuya is like the first one.
Yeah, I like how Byakuya's kid was the one that looked like fucking scared and confused too. Like, why are these other dads here? Why are they so weird?
Because we know damn well they would have been living a peaceful life. Like, Monokuma would have been doing something that started things up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm sure if that actually happened, Monokuma would have been weird about it.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been like, oh yeah, okay, I'll let them live happy ever in here. Like, no, he would have done something. He would have stirred up something. Like, the other thing I can assume in this whole case is that Monokuma, or whoever's controlling Monokuma, is the one that killed this mystery person, because it's like she keeps saying the mastermind, we're falling in the mastermind's trap. So it's just like the mastermind must have killed.
Once again, like I said, how do we know it couldn't have just been one of the previous dead bodies dressed up to look like this 16th student? And then they just blew it up, and put a tattoo on the hand and just blew it up. So
it's like, that's why I was mostly quiet. Cause I'm thinking like, all right, what the fuck's happening?
Yeah, you guys felt dead to me. I'm like, okay, are they both still here? I'm like, yeah, they're still here.
I was just really thinking like, well, what I don't know. It's like, to me, the trial itself is kind of lame, because I was like, oh man, that wasn't really like much of a satisfying like who done it. That was just like another like trick thing. It's like, all right, but I'm more interested now of like what the fuck's like what the hell's even happening anymore.
Hello, I'm Kikostego, and we're here for another recording session of Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc. With the boys as usual. And we were somewhere.
We were on chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Yeah, dude, it's the first episode, man.
First episode. We haven't been doing this for like 60 episodes now. School life trial verdict. I guess that would be it, yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
Let's go with that. Right when we woke up in the
Oh yeah, we woke up in trash.
Hooray, we're finally trash.
We are the trash man.
I didn't know we woke up in Toko.
This is a desk. Probably the one that fell down here with me.
This is a desk, and I just moved on.
That's a rocket and a tank. I better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here.
Oh, isn't that the rocket from the beginning of the game?
Yeah, it is actually. Very astute.
Dude, I wish I had a tank in my basement.
That's an airplane! What?
Is that an airplane? That's something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit. I don't know, there should be a fire truck down here too.
That for later.
Like thousands of, baseballs, but...
Yeah, really. Rattle, rattle.
I just like to think he's saving it for another punishment. He's like, well, I went out and I bought a fucking fire truck. That was really expensive. I'm not using it.
Yeah, true. It's locked. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at all, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, I'm not getting out of here anytime soon.
Better just lay down and die.
I decided to look for some food.
Where?
Eat the tank.
Eat the tank! There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless, too. Next, I searched for some water.
Pee-pee water.
I like how he searches for food and water separately. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are all around a bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. That's still not enough reason to give up because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was...
Must be thinking about John Cena right now. Never give up.
Go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left for not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but at least... I think at least a full day had to pass. And all I did was sleep and sleep. And I was like... It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly. Crunch!
It was a crunch bar.
What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. I watched a pile of garbage jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been?
It looks like trash.
It's trash.
Dude, you got more trash for your trash.
Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out towards whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
Oh, I guess that's me.
Yeah.
A giant piece of trash. Rude.
Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells
Nice noodles, bro.
awful.
I love when people do Kirigiri cosplays with the cup of noodles on it.
She's the queen of the trash now. That's her crown.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, Yoko.
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing
I'm
here?
sure you'd be talking to a volleyball by now.
So,
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
I'm glad to hear that, Koyoko. You got a bit of garbage in your hair.
And everywhere else.
She gave her head a quick sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again.
First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished.
She gave me her
We could talk-
buns.
Dude, fresh buns.
Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way towards my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now, all I got is the energy I need to keep going.
So you still haven't given up then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Well, it's not such a bad thing to be good at.
Okay.
I didn't initially think one of them was just going to jump down here. Like, I thought she was just going to start sending him food and supplies until they could figure out how to get him out. But hey, join the trash lady.
Join the trash lady.
Pull up a piece of sheet metal and make yourself at home.
No, I know, right? But Koyoko, why'd you come to rescue me?
To pay a debt. No, to atone.
Atone?
You.
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything.
I did, but that ending didn't turn out too well.
I got the bad ending.
Yeah, pretty much. So you knew that I knew.
Indeed.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you.
Don't say that. You didn't abandon me.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you.
However.
But listen, not that I'm trying to take excuses, but there was a reason that I had to survive, no matter the cost.
Why'd you have to survive?
It's true.
You know, because I'm allergic to death.
I'll tell you everything. The reason I have to survive
In other words.
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do.
What?
And I made up my mind to come to Host Peak Academy for one very important reason. I don't know why we have to click on these. Like, you
I
can just
know.
go off it and be like,
Yeah.
oh, so what's this important reason?
There's very few places where it actually, like, oh, I want to discuss this before I discuss that. But you gotta discuss it all anyway, so just make it a freaking normal thing. It's, like, weird. So, you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
Indeed.
That's right. At least I did once.
Yeah, what are you doing? Okay, he found a tube of paint.
Dude, nice. He just wants to make you a nice little picture.
Jesus. It's ironically the glow-in-the-dark fluorescent pink paint that I bought for a Danganronpa art piece.
Fuck yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, jeez!
Once.
Until recently, I've forgotten what it was.
You forgot, but that's...
I had no memory of what my purpose was.
No memory? That's impossible.
Huh? Amnesia?
Then it really is true you lost your memory.
Makoto.
Do you remember, Makoto?
Yeah, I think I do remember Makoto.
It's you! Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school?
The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted and I woke up, I was trapped here.
That's right.
I fainted too. And when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect.
It would seem.
Thinking back on it now, at that point, my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what would make you forget all that?
Hey.
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance. It seems much too convenient.
Are you saying that you think you lost your memory because...
Indeed.
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would you say that?
Not your legs?
There's only one reason I can come up with. Because of my purpose and my ability, somehow they would interfere with the mastermind's plans.
So the mastermind just stole them from you.
However.
And it could also mean Somehow my memories may be connected to the mysteries of the school and the mastermind. Which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But what if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
Why is that?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always a chance that the mastermind is actually one of us.
What?
Correct.
Well, don't make too big of a deal of it, it's just a possibility. But since it is a possibility, we can't ignore it, right?
Mastermind's one of us. If she believed that, then of course she couldn't trust anyone around her. In which case, it only makes sense that she would look at her missing memory by herself.
However,
That being said, there was a limit of what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
But why me?
Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the mastermind. That was just intuition, but...
I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the mastermind.
I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here.
Ugh. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
listen.
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Hey,
Even now, I still trust you, you know? It's just, I'm not used to relying on others.
correct.
I never asked you for help the right way, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality.
I'm just a sim.
It's like, okay, we're done talking. We're gonna stand here now.
You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
So,
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose and my ability.
You mentioned your ability.
My ability, whatever everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective. I mean, I guess I called that in the beginning.
Yeah, you did. You called that one pretty early on, to be honest. Because I remember even you were like, oh, somebody here has to be the ultimate detective. And I just like looked at the camera slowly, like, okay.
I mean, she was the one that knew everything.
Yeah.
And she has no problem with all the pokey.
Yeah, she pokey's pretty good. The ultimate detective.
And the reason I came to Hope Peaks Academy, there was someone I had to find here in the school.
You had to find someone? Who?
so,
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster. How do you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father. My padre.
Uh-oh, daddy issues.
Oh, here we go.
What?
in other words,
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Toyoko's dad is the Hope Peak headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us how he thought the headmaster was involved.
I'll find a way. No matter what it takes, I will find the headmaster.
no matter what,
No matter the cost.
So, Toyoko, what's going on? ...
I remember he hadn't come back yet at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
That makes sense.
however,
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I don't have daddy issues. I mean, I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
And what did you see in there?
so,
The room had been ransacked, the shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything was who didn't know where anything was had been in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
It's true.
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found.
But why there?
Because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
This is some kind of map?
Indeed.
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuru's profile in that key. The map showed the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time. And I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if they were true, that room would likely be held with more clues, so I wanted to check.
Correct.
And that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room.
So you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
However,
And once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms didn't have any cameras for monitors.
So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean?
It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in the school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
What do you mean?
so
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough. I mean, why don't you just say what you've seen?
I know, right? It sounds like it must be important. And really ominous. Ominous. Why do I gotta click on her again?
however,
Hey, about that key, did you bring it down here so we can get through that door up there?
Next one.
Which is why I had no idea what was going on in the rest of the building.
Okay, why do I gotta react to this? It has to do with Mercuro. It has to do with Mikuro Ikusawa, doesn't it?
however,
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her.
I figured that.
I know it wasn't you either.
Yeah, no shit. I know you're right, but that just means everyone but you and me had an alibi, so then who did kill her?
anyway,
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved.
Well, I imagine if one of the other people killed her and was trying to, like, legitly get out of the school, and they pushed Kirigiri or myself off the thing, they'd immediately be like, well, yeah, I murdered her, so I should be able to get out. Like, fucking kill the rest of these people. Like, they would have outed themselves right away, so, yeah. Obviously, it wasn't anybody.
To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuru Kusaba has to be me. Was to get me killed.
Get you killed.
indeed.
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me.
Correct.
That was the point of the class trial.
It was?
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the school regulations?
That's right.
Exactly.
With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
In other words,
The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it.
Mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules. That makes it sound like the Mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
hey,
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ugusaba.
What's that?
There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
I could have become the victim?
indeed.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Ow, when he's in the room.
Do you mean during the night?
I can hear them, you know. The footsteps of the god of death.
What? What?
Now you lost me. I can hear the god of death as he moves. Oh, lady. Psychiatrist, please. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this.
Anyway,
which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow cross the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room.
correct.
I ran into your room and I saw what was happening. I intervened immediately, of course.
However,
That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead.
correct.
And their murder was disguised and the doji key wound up in my room. It all has to be the work of the mastermind in an attempt to use the class child to eliminate me.
So all this would mean that whoever killed Bakuro is also the mastermind, right?
Indeed.
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think.
That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try to kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
Correct.
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything did is a contradiction.
So what does it all mean?
In other words,
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Makoto.
Just a little more. A little more and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
The other ultimate despair.
Multiple personalities.
There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. No, she was the ultimate soldier. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
Well, the ultimate despair gets, like, applied to people along with the other ultimate titles. So you can have multiple ultimate titles.
I don't allow it.
Like, Nagi is Ultimate Hope. Ultimate Hope Bagel. Also, random reference. But freaking to anybody who likes Nico B. But, yeah, so Ultimate Hope, Ultimate Despair, that can be applied to them as well as a different ultimate title.
Well, I mean, technically, fucking What's Her Crazy Tits is the ultimate writer and the ultimate serial killers.
Yeah, true.
Well, Genocide Jill and Toko are two different people.
Yeah, but you get the general idea. It's not?
Indeed.
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about...
What happened a year ago? The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
the tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that, they're the ultimate despair.
Would seem
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Then they're...
Make no mistake. They're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this.
That is the ultimate... Oop.
That is the ultimate despair. And that is our real enemy.
Okay.
100-mile dash, pain of junk food junkie.
I don't know why it's titled that, but it's the end.
We're all here.
Nobody died. Nobody really died. I got... That did not...
Upplug.
Yep, you got a butt plug.
I got a Dream Island
Toko.
rocket. Toko, got a present for
Bianca's
you.
face on it.
Yes, I would like to save. The Ultimate Despair, a group of people who caused a tragedy 1 year ago. The same people who put together this killing game began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever. That is the Mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed.
I mean, not really. We don't know who it is, but alright.
But right now...
anyway.
Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place.
So give me the key, bitch.
Figure out the rest of the story can come after.
Kyoko, it smells down here. Can we leave?
What
Yeah, you're
the-
right. I want a bath. Stop making me click on you. Kyoko, do you still have the thing? Moniku's secret tool that you got from the headmaster's room?
Indeed.
Of course I do. It's an absolute vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it.
And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
Then we should be able to use it on that door, right? I click on the door.
Door time?
Hey, Kyoko, can we use that key of yours to open this door, right?
It's true.
Let's find out.
That'd be funny if this was the one door I couldn't open. Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it into the keyhole. And then, click. Yes, it opened.
Indeed.
And now we can get out of here. Let's go.
Sounds good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit. Finally. We're finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief because the real fight had just begun. Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death. Deadly life. We don't even get a fun life in this one. It's just straight up to deadly life.
Hey, at least it's ultimate.
Yeah, true. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading out into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface. Oh, almost another panty shot. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended. We climbed into darkness. The passage was so dark and cramped I couldn't even see my own feet beneath me. I had no idea we were so far down.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you.
Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said that, I'm kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. I like how now it gives them little things. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you.
After climbing a ladder, I was having a discussion.
You said you were the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work?
How long?
So,
Ever since I can remember.
It almost looks like they were trying to censor her butt a little bit with it.
I came from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way.
And is your family famous?
wrong.
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us.
Then how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So,
Right.
Because we take pride in it.
pride.
Indeed.
A detective is neither light nor shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of the society. Which is why we made a conscious effort to conceal our existence.
A conscious effort.
It's true.
It's kind of an old-fashioned. I can't say it's entirely rational. But it's our family creed, and we do what we must do to protect it. Because, like I said, it's our source of pride.
You okay there?
Hey, Koyoko, I think your ass was acting up again.
Pride.
It's a long climb, dude.
It is, yeah. I mean, fucking, I get tired just like whenever I move stock around and I'm talking to somebody. It's like I get so much more tired than just when I'm just doing shit. You know what I mean? It's like, ugh. So that explains. Before I came here, when I was looking up the info on the school online, I never saw anything about her. Because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
However,
And yet, I gave up some piece of that. I gave up some of that pride
I
in order to enter Hope's Peak. I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do.
But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you would go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
What?
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father.
Ah. But you'd be reuniting after all those years, right? You wouldn't have had so much you would have had so much to talk about.
Wrong.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about.
However,
There's something I want to say to him, though.
What?
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him face to face.
You never paid child support.
Oh, what is it?
So,
I want to sever all ties with him.
I mean, sounds like you already did.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't around.
Yeah. Sever.
The last time I saw him, I was still very young. So I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented and he had the promising future.
however,
But he had no interest in detective work. So he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died and he simply ran away. He went to my grandfather and they had a huge argument, and young as I was, he left me behind.
I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
right.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective.
I was above Koyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, but what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true.
However,
But there's one thing. How long is this fucking ladder? One thing that I can never forgive.
Really?
so,
The way everyone else looked at me.
Yeah, we have been talking for like 10 minutes.
I was never sad about being left behind, like I said. I think it was a good thing.
however,
But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different.
Also, that takes some fucking skill to climb that ladder in those shoes. Just saying.
They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father.
Aw, poor girl.
That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow's been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow.
correct.
That's why I had to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago.
But your family, you can't just cut him out like that.
Wrong.
Our only connection is through blood, nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No.
Hey,
Is blood really enough to call someone family?
Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was shocked to hear her say something like that. I didn't know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. For once, Nagi shuts up. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence. And after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top. Okay, just straight up Nagi butt boo. Oh, yeah, you definitely fucking die after that fall. Looks like this is it.
On the other side of the store, Host Peak is waiting for us.
We're back!
that's right.
Remember that hatch on the ground is near the trash room. I'm fairly certain that's where we all come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble.
She's not positive. Watch there be two things. That would be sucky. Well, here goes nothing. I reached my hand up and pushed against the hatch. The hatch opened with ease, and so Then why'd she jump down with the trash bags? Wouldn't she just go down the hatch?
No, she would go down in style.
Yeah, that's dumb. You want to go down cool.
Looks like we're back.
But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted.
I can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back to Hope Speak Academy. Koyoko, thank you. I could never gotten out of there without you.
No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor.
Okay. Oak. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course. If the mastermind finds out, I'm worried about you two. You helped me, so they might.
Listen.
You're worried?
Yeah, of course.
So then,
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
Huh?
in other words,
Let's ask Monica if there's a problem with you escaping. Wait.
Wait, that's.
however,
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away.
I mean, she's got a point. As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance camera. So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now?
Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't.
because
The mastermind is the one that's ensnared.
The mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
so
The mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuru's death. There was a moment where the mastermind let their guard down.
There was?
right.
If we could talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we can go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations.
I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Indeed.
Monokuma should be in the gym.
Shall we go?
Let's get going. How do you know she's in the gym?
Yeah,
How do
that's
you know
weird.
that?
Yeah, it's strange.
We were down there for how long? He could be anywhere.
Hangout spot.
Talk to the Monokuma. Talk to Monokuma. Talk to Monokuma. Talk to Monokuma.
Well now.
I want to say he says that.
Yeah.
Kyoko, I don't mind so much.
I do.
But Makoto's supposed to be dead. What's he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
You were supposed to be punished. Did Kyoko help you?
What?
So what if I did? What will you do?
Shing.
If the guilty party is exposed on the class trial, they alone will be executed. It's unfortunate, but that is the rule. So now I gotta punish you again! And this time I won't leave anything to chance!
Koyoko.
Right.
Do whatever you feel you have to.
What?
But before you do, let me just say one more thing.
Now,
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh?
I lose?
Hey.
You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
because
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me.
in other words,
I was supposed to be chosen as the Blackened and then executed, right? Hey, what are you talking about?
however,
Well, when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The result of the trial weren't at all what you were expecting. Because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that.
right.
And in response to that unexpected development,
Indeed.
you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the Blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation, no more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to manipulate, was a threat to you as well.
However,
But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that will throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery.
Alter ego.
You never imagined the possibility of being that could You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it.
Am I wrong?
Now there's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro, you did.
Listen to me.
So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the block is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right? And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the Blackened is me and not Makoto?
Well,
And you can prove this, right?
Well,
No, I can't.
Don't just say it like that.
What is this, a comedy routine? To make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
that doesn't matter.
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some.
That's right.
Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there's only ever one absolute truth.
boom, boom.
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective type.
Because
If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you so love to inspire.
however,
But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
indeed.
It's not you I'm trying to convince.
Hey,
If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Hmm?
indeed.
Imagine what everyone would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right.
Listen to me.
Despair can never kill hope.
Hey,
Of course you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square,
that's what we have to do.
then I suggest you take my advice. So, what is this advice of yours?
It's true.
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time you follow the school regulation to ensure a fair trial.
It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Hey,
Well, that would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say?
A fair trial, one last showdown. In other words, this would be our chance to expose the true identity of Makuro's killer and the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting.
Barrett!
Very interesting indeed.
Very.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So time for better jokes. Now, what you suggested might be possible, it would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
in other words,
Does that mean you accept?
You guys?
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? And it would cause you unbearable despair, right? That I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory?
I can barely contain myself.
Let's have one final grisly showdown.
Agreed.
Russell, you liking all these lines you're reading, bud?
Dude, I love it. I've said 0 words since we started.
Yeah, he has
Oh my god. I'm trying to get a drink, but I have to talk.
Get your drink. Drink now. Or forever hold your spit.
The ruination of the bees brings about the apocalypse, not in the way that you would think it would, but as in like the bees are such fucking shit dick bags and nobody wants to be around them. So that's the only thing keeping the horrors of the ocean at bay from just coming onto land and just ending everything.
So be it.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
These are gone. I don't care.
I'm so glad the recording equipment's already on. That is going in an end snip somewhere. I don't care where. Something needs that on it.
The special after credit scene.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't care. It's a I don't care what it is. I don't care if there's zombies. I don't care what it is. Bees need to go.
All right, fair enough. I was just curious. I should have assumed what the answer was going to be, but curiosity got the best of me.
I mean, I get it, but I don't know. Bees need to go.
Curiosity got the best of me.
Mikey?
Keeps the ocean creatures at bay.